Good morning. Today I'm going to give you a quick lesson to get you through the next couple pages of the Concert Orchestra Music Theory packet. We're going to look at lesson 4 and the review page after it. And this is about reading notes from the grand staff, which is what keyboard, instruments, piano, organ, etc. use to read treble clef and bass clef at the same time. So here we go. This is your page where lesson 4 is in your packet. If you can turn to this, what you'll see is a diagram of a piano. And all the white keys are natural notes A through G, repeating over and over and over. This is a really helpful visual when you're playing a string instrument so that you can remember the way that note names work and they go in order, even though on string instruments the way things are laid out is a little more complicated. And then this coordinates really well with what we see on written sheet music, which is that note names, as you go up through natural notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, they alternate line, space, line, space, line, space, and they go from the lowest sounds down in bass clef all the way to the highest sounds up in treble clef. The key takeaway from this is that letter names always go in order. And I think you know that already, but this is just a really helpful way to see it, no matter how low or high you go. And regardless of whether you make something sharp or flat, it won't change the fact that if it's an A, it's in a certain spot. If it's a B, it's a certain spot. C is a certain spot. D is a certain spot. So letter names of notes always go in order on keyboard instruments, on all the white keys, and on written sheet music, alternating every line and space. For you violists out there, I just want to point one thing out. This is a special note right here. It's called middle C. It's called middle C because if you're looking at a piano, you have a bunch of octaves of notes all side by side, and this is a reference point where if you find two black keys right in the middle of the piano, and you find the white key to the left of it, that's middle C. For violists, this note is really special because your alto clef, when you have one, you know that the note that the shape for alto clef points to is a C. It's this C, it's middle C on a keyboard. So if you're looking at your notes, you can imagine there being an alto clef right where that note is, and that helps you see where you are. Okay, so this is probably review for you, just being able to read the notes in treble clef and read the notes in bass clef. And on the next page, you have a couple of exercises that just ask you to do the same thing down here, kind of what we did on the last page, identifying the names of notes. First, we're going to do this top part. All it's asking you to do is draw a grand staff. Grand staff has 4 parts. The instructions are right here. You draw a line connecting the two on the left side. Again, grand staff is what pianists read, where you're playing with both hands. One hand is playing usually in treble clef on the higher stuff. One hand is playing in bass clef on the lower stuff. So there's a bar here connecting the two. Then there's this sort of bracket shape to the left that shows that they work together. And then there's a treble clef. If you remember, for treble clef, you start below the bottom line with a dot, go straight up, then like the letter P, then the letter G with a curly Q. There's treble clef. Then for bass clef, you start on the second line down where the note F is, draw a dot, do the right half of a heart, and then 2 dots. So on these 3 here, you're just practicing draw with those 4 parts, draw the grand staff. Then on the bottom, you're just going to write the name, the letter name of each note below the note. To do that, all you need to do is remember that the dots in bass clef show you where F is and count as high up or as low down as you need to get to the right note, alternating every line and space. And then for treble clef, this spot right here is G. It's called a G clef because the spot right in the middle of the curly Q is G. So for example, you'd start there and count up G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you'll get there. So if you are like a violinist, use F to find the bass clef notes, or a violist. If you're a cellist or a bassist or a violist and these are your treble clef notes, use G in the curly Q here, the second line from the bottom, as your reference point to count up or down. So you're going to take a look at this just to review and do parts 1 and 2 on this page and take a snapshot and submit that to Schoology, and I'll take a look and see how that's going for you. All right, thank you. Enjoy, keep up the good work, and I'll see you soon. Bye.